Well, if you want a little distraction while you're waiting for MRG's version of Lincoln Creek to come out, I might have found just the thing for you. Hello everybody, it's the FarmSim guy here, hope you're all doing well. We are on Lincoln Creek, Nebraska. This is a 4x map. It's the classic FS17 map from Random Sparks, which has been updated for FS19 by Dude Guy Modding. Now, do not get confused, this has nothing to do and is in no way affiliated to MRG's version of Lincoln Creek, although it is based on the same area. But I don't know how he missed this. This was originally released in December 2020. I think he's done a few tweaks to it since then. But what a little map this is. When I say little, it is not little. This is a brilliant 4x map. I am so impressed with this. We are spoiled at the moment for new maps. Honestly, you wouldn't think there was a new game coming out in a few months. The amount of good stuff coming out at the moment is amazing. So anyway, let's not beat around the bush. Let's crack on and get through this because there's quite a lot to show you here. This is a really clean, simple map in terms of what's available for you, which is really, really nice. And it runs super, super smooth. I've yet to dip below 60 frames a second. Which is really nice for a 4x map. It means it's available to, a lot more people in terms of computer performance, because I know some of these bigger maps can cause problems if you don't have a very high spec PC. So when you first spawn into the game, and I've started in new farmer mode, you start here at New Horizons Custom Harvesting. Nice sign there, the American flag fluttering in the background, and you've got some quite nice buildings here, custom buildings. You've got some nice equipment, like I said, the new farmer mode, so we've got a good selection of kit. We'll run through that in a little while. The truck isn't part of the new farmer thing. That is something I've dropped in here for us to have a little drive around in. But some nice big sheds and a lot of good equipment here. But you're right next to your fields as well, and there's some big fields on this map. Let's quickly jump into the PDA and let you see it. So there you go. We'll zoom out a little bit so you can see everything, but there's your starter farm there. Just by field 60. That is all you get when you start, so you've got to think about which fields you want, but some nice fields down the outside here. 91 fields in total, and as you can see, some really nice big full-size fields. Lots of big fields, 67 probably the biggest on the map there, but there's a few in that territory. 17, 18 pretty big, 66 is a nice big field as well. Being a 4x map, I think, like I mentioned in my Oklahoma map tour the other day, it belies the size of them, and we'll touch on that in a little minute. It is seasons ready, it is precision farming ready, and it does have anhydrous on it. So again, something I said in the Oklahoma map tour, really nice to see mappers adding in anhydrous as a default. So as well as your farm that you start with at the bottom here, you can see you own fields 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 up at the top as well. Okay, there's a bit of a trek to get there, but there's something quite nice about that. Not all farmers have their fields right on their doorstep, so obviously you can sell those if you want and buy different fields, but I quite like the idea of that. You can see the creek running through the map here as well. We'll visit that in a little while. I've counted up potentially 13 farms here, or places without buildings where you could start if you don't want to start on in the main farm. But let's just jump in as well to the purchase points, because some of these, or a lot of these, you can buy independently, but also there are some grouped fields. So there you go, 51, 52, 53 together. The grouped prices are expensive. That's 1.3 million for those, 1.5 million there. Field 60, 59 and 48 around the farm here, with potentially 3 farm points on it, nearly $3 million. So lots and lots of expensive fields. There are some small ones as well, 24 and 25 there, very small fields. Field 90 down at the bottom is attached to these 3, so a little bit more expensive, but you have got options if you want some smaller fields as well. In terms of buy points, we'll go and visit these in a little while, but not too many, which Again, you know, on a map like this, you don't need loads of sell points, but you've got a couple of options for selling your grain crops. You've got a McDonald's here, which amazingly will buy oats off you. I'm guessing for the porridge for their breakfasts. Then you've got Frito-Lay, where you can sell your potatoes, but also you've got McDonald's there, who will buy your potatoes off you. A wool sell point, Sawmill. McDonald's will also take your eggs and your milk, which is good. And then a bale sell point as well. So let's have a little bit of a drive around the map. I'm not going to drive around everywhere. A bit like with Oklahoma the other day. It's just too big. We'd be at it for days. But what I will do is just run down to one of the other farms so you can see something else on the map. So if I jump into here, we're at field 60 here. What I'll do is I'll drive around the corner to this little farm here, and you can get an idea for some of the other farms and this one down here. And what we'll do a big circle, probably finishing up in the main town and the animal dealer before we head back to the starter farm. So let's jump in the truck and go and have a look at these two farms. So just pulling out the gate here, you can see the fields running down the edge of the map here. Even these really nice size fields, nice square fields. Now I do want to touch on these fences. Some of these are very close to the fields. Will it cause you an issue when you're driving with coarse plate? Potentially not. They're not round all the fields though. So look, perfect example here. It's literally around that field, but a lot of the other fields don't have them. So I know some people just jump into Giants Editor and remove these. You could do that if you want, or you could just give it a go and maybe they won't get in the way. You just don't know. You just don't know. But you have plenty of other options if those fields don't suit you. So definitely worth considering other fields if you're not a big fan of having fences close to the edge of your fields. Okay, let's pull into here because this is one of the other farm options you've got available to you. And it is quite a nice farm, this one. Some nice sheds and things. A nice house there as well, and some kind of smaller grain bins. There's a lot of these semicircular sheds on this map as well, which I'm guessing are in keeping with the area. But you can pop the doors on these, and there's some not bad storage in there. There's your grain bins. Now, with this farm, if I click on here, you'll see it's actually part of this one big block. There is another farm or some more buildings just up at the top there, which we'll go and have a look at in a minute. But yes, that potentially is one big area. You could keep some vehicles up here and some more down here. But a nice little area as well. And as you can see there, there is some grass next to the field on the other side. This is a big field. So again, just to give you a little bit of an impression of how big this field is, we're standing on the edge of this cotton field here. If I jump back into here, you can see that's a relatively short amount of space in terms of the size of the map. But if I jump up into the air here, you can see that's pretty big. And then it disappears off into the distance. This is a very narrow part of the field. And it opens up considerably as you go around the corner. So nice fields, nice field sizes here. I know you lot are all into your big field sizes, so this will work very nicely. And if you look straight ahead there's another cotton field across the road. Again, I'll jump into the mini-map. That's field 69. And it is huge. So, bear that in mind. The fields on this map are big. They're definitely big. Okay, there we go. There is the first farm post our starter farm, which is just over there in the distance. And there is another one just over there we'll run down and have a quick look at. And then we'll start jumping around the map a little bit more, I think. Having a look at different areas. So we've just taken a left out of the farm there. We're just going to head back to the main road here. Hang a right and a head due south. Let me pop the mini-map on so you can get your bearings with me. We will head due south along here. And like I said, I'm just going to stop here actually because there's some interesting spaces. Look, there's a little bit of green there, just a bit of grass, and that field has been cut into. You know, there's lots of spaces like that where you could drop in your own sheds or buildings as well. There is a lot of scope for like developing this how you want to. I think it's a really nice base map that you could really turn into your own, which is nice. So we're just along here. There is a a house in there. I don't know how to get to it. There we go, there's the road. So we'll pull in here. Oh, somebody's knocked the mailbox over. Poor form. So you can run into here. Again, just a nice little, I want to call it a small holding. But there you go. Farmhouse, a couple of small buildings, some nice silos, small silos. But again, a nice little starter farm. If you want to start a little operation here, you could do that. Obviously the fields are huge around it, but you could run a nice, like kind of maybe a vintage or an older fashioned machinery style gameplay through here with that. Works really nice from that perspective. So what we'll do, we'll head out of here. Let me just jump back to the mini-map quickly. What we're going to do is we're going to run along this road here all the way along to here, and we'll go and have a look at probably what is the biggest grain sell point on the map. It's a really, really nice silo setup, this actually. Now I did say I was going to not drive around the entire map, but I'm actually really enjoying this expendable Chevrolet. So I might stay in it for a bit longer. Look at that aerial moving on the bonnet as well. That's pretty cool. Not seen that before. I overshot the road here, and the reason for that is because it's a dirt road. So we'll just run along here and we will head to the grain silos. Now there's the farm we were just at. You can see the bins just over there on the right. But we'll head down here. You can just see it appearing in the distance there. The towers from the silos. So we'll see when we get there. Okay, here we are. We're going to take a turn here. And we're going to head over here to Lone Wolf, which is the name of this grain sell point, and it's a really nice silo setup, this actually. You can see the belts moving the grain between the different silos there, the different bins, the old concrete silo there as well, but really nicely done. Lots of character in this. I like this a lot. So this is probably the main sell point on the map. You have got other areas where you can sell your grain, but this is easily the biggest, no question at all. So we just roll in here and unload into there, which is nice. So there you go, big sell point that, and it's in nicely placed in the middle of the map, and easy to get to. So let's keep heading around. Let's head to here. Off field 86, and there's something interesting here I want to show you. But there you go, as you're driving along these roads, there's some nice little touches, just like little sheds sitting at the side of the road there, which I quite like. Just adds to the character of the map. Lots of telephone wires as well, running down the side of the road. Again, nice little touch. And let's turn onto this road here, and we've got ourselves another little farm. Now I quite like this. Again, some nice old-fashioned bins here. A farmhouse and an old style shed. Now this shed here is only a placeable. You can't. I've not worked a way of getting into it, but this semicircular shed here and the bins are all working. But what I like about this, and he did actually, Dude Guy did put it in the comments for the map. He did put something in where he said the grass does grow tall. It must be something in the air. It does get about waist height. There are some big grass fields around, plenty to mow for the cows or sheep. With that in mind, this here, even though it looks like a normal crop, is in fact grass. Now, whether or not you get a higher yield or more bulk from this, I don't know. I haven't tested it yet. But I love the fact that it's very tall. I've not seen that before, so I like that. A nice little touch. Okay, just jumping back to the map here, all we've got on the left-hand side here is masses of fields. Nice little roads going through. There's the creek. There's the Lincoln Creek running through some of the fields there. But this is all fields from here. Access roads down here, which you can utilise. But what we'll do, we'll head up here, and we're going to visit Frito-Lay Lift and Frito-Lay Ground, which, as you've probably already guessed, is a potato sell point. So So here we go, just running up the road. I thought I would let you see this, because there is a nice bit of a forest area here. There is a sawmill on this map, so you have got access to be able to sell any trees that you cut down. So that's a nice touch, but let's just turn into here. And here is the sell point owned by Frito-Lay, where you can get rid of your potatoes. Now, we've got two options here. Let's just run over the weighbridge. You've got two options here, where you can either tip them straight into there, or your second option, if you don't want to dump them into the ground there, is to reverse up here with your trailer and unload them into the conveyor belt, which is a nice touch as well. I like that. I like that a lot. Very nice. So there you go, your potato sell points. So let's head back out of here and head to our next point of interest. Now, here we are at the potato sell point. I'm going to head up here on the road in the truck, but before I do, there's a couple of points in here which, rather than doubling back to, I'll just jump over to them and give you a little bit of an idea of what they look like. So here we are between fields 57 and 56. We've got this nice little house and a little shed here. Some more grain bins, which is nice. So you've got access to another nice small farm here. Direct access to some of these fields here, and we've got another field here of this nice tall grass as well, which is lovely. And over here there is another house, and just a little bit further up, if we can get out of this field, there is another small holding just through the trees there, if you can see it. Let's just run around the side of these trees here, and you'll be able to see it. But another red shed, nice big shed there for storage of machinery. So actually this is a really nice little little farm tucked away right slap bang in the middle of the map. There you go, right in the middle there. So a nice little area there, well worth a look. Now on the opposite side of the road to that farm is this little thing nestling in the trees, a rather nice big house on the shores of a little lake. So again, if you want to pick up that house, that's quite a nice little place to get some R&R in the evenings. So just thought I'd show you that. It's quite nice. Okay, back to the potato sell point. We'll use that as our reference and we'll head up north from there. Okay, we've left a Frito-Lay there. The white picket fences. There's some corn growing in the field there, and there's a path down to a little house down there next to the forest area. Now we'll just head up here again. Actually, Dude Guy's done some really nice touches to this map, which I want to show you in here. So for example, we've got somebody building a new house in here, so there's a little bit of a role play opportunity there if you want to do some construction stuff as part of the map. So we'll head up a little bit further. As you can see, we've got another farm on our left here, so we're just going to pull in and have a quick look at this. You start to get a feel for the type of farms that you've got available to you here, but this is nice. House at the front there, a much bigger grain silo setup here, so potentially you can run some bigger machinery through here, but I like that. Nice. Looks like it would need a conveyor belt to get it all fired up. Some pretty basic vehicle storage sheds as well. There's no frills at these farms, are they? They've just got the practicals for what you need, which is nice. So we'll head out of here again, and we will do another left and keep heading up the way. There we go, one of the probably smaller fields on the map, field 52 there. And then in here is your sawmill. I won't bother driving in because we can just have a look at it through these rocks here, but the sell point for your wood chips and your wood is in there. That's quite nice. I like the rocks at the side of the road there, very tastefully done. And then up here on your right is yet another farm. So like I said, there's lots and lots of scope here for you know, choosing where you start, or where you expand to, or where you start and you can sell and move on to somewhere else. Lots and lots of scope for that, which is nice. It probably sets this up nicely as a multiplayer map as well, if I'm being honest. With all these little farms, you can either play as a group working on one farm, or you could split this up into, 10 or 12 small farms and give everybody their own farm to work on. So I like this a lot. Very nice. Nice bin set up there as well. Let me just jump out here and show you where we are on the map, so you can get your bearings. We are here. We've just run from the potato place all the way up to here. Now, really, what we've got here is another couple of farms. This is literally a shed here on its own, so I'm not bothered going up there. But I'll take you up here and show you this one, because this is interesting. I've not quite worked out what it is yet. So we're heading up now to probably the most northerly point of the map. You'll see where we are in a minute now. On the right here, again, we've got ourselves a little house and another little shed. Not much else going on there. And on the left here, we have got Lincoln Creek Dairy. Now, interestingly, when you pull in here, there is no sell point in here for milk. So I'm a little confused as to what its purpose is. As you can see there, Lincoln Creek Dairy, rather fancy building, looks a bit like an office block. And there's some lovely big sheds around here, and a big open yard that you could add more stuff to. You could potentially add some cow sheds here. We don't have any here, but yeah, this has got potential. Although, like I said, to be called Lincoln Creek Dairy but not have any sell point in it, or any animals, or any point at which you could, I don't know, even store milk. Who knows? I'm not so sure, but it doesn't offend me. Just I think opens up options for a bit of roleplay or developing that area yourself. So not the end of the world at all. Now, as we're up here, you can see the fields that you get when you start the map on new farmer mode. And there you go, nice square fields, and a chunk of 5 of them in a row. They are ideal fields to start with, really. They are a little bit further away from your farm, potentially, than maybe some of you would like, but again, you've got the option to sort what you'd like to do with them there as well. But there we go, Lincoln Creek Dairy. I like the signs anyway, if nothing else. Now the road does stop there, so it doesn't go on beyond there, so bear that in mind as well. And we will head along the top here of this rather nice map. It looks good anyway, it's really, really attractive looking. The lighting's good, and like I said, the smoothness, I am so impressed with how optimised this is. Maybe one of the benefits of having an FS17 map. It's really, really clean. Now we've got modern computers running them. So, up here, there is a random 9RT parked up with a plough, which I quite like. Somebody's headed home for his dinner. And in here, it's just a little house. So a little house, somebody wants to stay in there if they want to. We'll not keep going down here, because there's not much else to see down here, other than a vast array of fields. A little bit of contouring there. It is a very flat map, as you would expect, but as you can see, there are some subtle hills there, which is nice to see. But we will reverse up here and we'll head just to the left, and then we'll head down south. There is another farm here which I want to show you, and then we are heading very quickly into the main town. So here we go. Let's just pull in here. Little drive, some grain bins, a couple of small sheds. No house here, so the house at the top that was on its own could possibly be the farmhouse for this little small holding, but a nice road to loop round on there and get you back onto the main road. And again, there's all, like I said, there's another example of these kind of quite big green areas around the edges of the field, which do give you the scope to add more buildings or build your own bigger farm than you've got otherwise. Okay, let's head down the road here, and we are about to arrive in town. So over the creek there, over Lincoln Creek, there is another. Let me reverse up here actually, and we'll run down here. It's probably the best way in actually. we will run down here. There is a farm on the left. Literally that shed you can see, and grain bins. But a nice little farm, and perfectly positioned. Because all of the things you would need are on your doorstep. So there's farmland, basically where you can get your anhydrous. So there's your anhydrous tanks for filling up. And behind that you've got your fertiliser fill point as well. There's the farm I was talking about, and the farmhouse. You've got a garage there where you can fuel up. You've got your McDonald's here, along with a big shed just sitting there, which I think is part of the fertiliser purchase point. But your McDonald's in there, which has got your sell point around the back for your eggs, milk and oats. Okay, just past McDonald's you've got your bale sell point there to the left, and here you have got another grain sell point. Now this is a little bit smaller than the other one, but you obviously drive over here, unload your grain here. Now I thought you could drive round here to start with, but it appears really you've got access to the shed. Now if you've got a small truck, you could probably squeeze down the side here, but it feels not really like an access point, although you could potentially unload grain from there as well. So there you go, second grain point. A few houses down there. But what we'll do, we'll just turn and head down here as well, because the dealership is here. And I really like this dealer shop. I've never seen this before, but it looks good. So, little John Deere dealership. Let's just stop here and jump out and have a look. There's quite a lot going on inside actually, which is quite nice. Parts and service, doors open. Lots of stuff in here, which is nice. Tool benches, small machinery, watering cans. It's almost like a garden centre. But there you go, some John Deere posters on the walls as well. So I quite like that. Nice little touch. Gives it a bit of life. Back out of the doors again. And I believe the service point is over there, along with the buy sell point. There's a forklift there as well, so if you need to pick anything up and remove it back to your farm, you can do that. And then back out onto the road here, again just a nice little touch. The church over there in the distance, and another couple of small sheds and a house as well. So I like that. Nice little kind of area where you've got all your buy points, sell points. Nice little town. Okay, we'll head back out along here. Again, there's some fenced off fields. Again, relatively straightforward to remove if you should wish to do that. And down at the bottom there of the map, that's where the houses were that we talked about, and there's another little shed there. Actually, if we head down here, we are heading to what is in fact the last point of interest that we need to visit to finish off this map, which is a surprise when you think how big this map is, and it's a 4x map, but well worth having a look at. So we headed due east out of the town, and this is where you will find your animal buy and sell point. Other than that, just a couple of positional buildings in there, placeables, but there's your buy sell point for your animals. Quaint little buy sell point, which is quite nice. And I did lie to you actually, this isn't the last point on the map that I wanted to show you. There is the second farm that's attached to the fields that we talked about early on. Let me just jump to the map and show you. Like I said, 59, 60 and 48 can be purchased all as one lot. These are the two farms we first looked at, but I want to just show you this one as well, because it's quite a nice little farm. So let's just head along to this road here, and we will hang a left. So here we are. This is the last point that I want to show you. Again, a rather nice shed there with a canopy at the front, and a little small grain storage point. The fact that you can drive in and tip under this one is quite nice, although you probably need a relatively small trailer to be able to get away with that, so bear that in mind. But another nice sell point. And that really ends this tour for this map. I have to say, it's a lovely, clean map. That's the best way to describe it. Just no bells and whistles, nothing too fancy, but it just does the basics really, really well. Field sizes, fantastic, really, really nice. So you could really get your teeth into this. Performance-wise, I think it's really, really good. I think it's not going to choke with a slightly lower spec PC, which is nice because I know you know, I do get a lot of comments from people on 4x maps just saying, you know what, I'd love to play on it, but it just creaks at the seams when I do, so I'm going to have to leave it. So this is quite nice from that perspective. Let's just turn down here. There's the farm we started at before as well. We're going to head back to the main farm at the moment, and where we kicked off the tour. But I've got to say, as a conversion, I've got to say Dude Guy's done a really, really nice job. Those of you who played this on FS17, you can have a little bit of a nostalgic trip down memory lane playing it again. Those of you who've not played this, I actually think it's well worth checking this out. I'm impressed. I am really impressed. So there you go. That is Lincoln Creek, Nebraska 4x map by Dude Guy Modding, who has updated the FS17 version of this map, which was originally created by Random Sparks. Now, full transparency at the end of this, I must say that I don't know if this is an official update that Dude Guy has done, or it's just a little personal project. But obviously, we are very close to seeing MRG's version of Lincoln Creek, which is not just an update, but a conversion and an edit as well. And I'm really, really looking forward to seeing that. He's talked to me this week, and there's exciting stuff in terms of production facilities on there, and an ethanol plant, and lots of new and additional features. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So, in the meantime, if you can't get enough of Lincoln Creek, by all means check this one out. But I strongly advise you look forward to MRG's map coming, because it's going to be, I think, pretty special. So for now, from me, the FarmSim guy, thank you very, very much for watching, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.